Do you watch old TV shows? And if so, is it Netflix's fault? Let's talk about it. Hello, it's me, I'm Steven Allen. How are you doing today? So I'm in the middle of watching ER on Hulu. So that's not Netflix, but I think because I would binge watch so many shows on Netflix, pause, resume. I'm like, let me catch my breath because I will binge watch so many shows on Netflix. I'm thinking that possibly it's gotten me in the habit of trying to find shows to binge. And you run out of shows to binge watch on Netflix, or ones that you're interested in. So then you're like, let me check out this show that I've never watched before. I've never seen ER, but I've heard about it. Or there's a new show that's similar to this show, and they say it's similar to this old show. Let me check it out because I watched the first episode at St. Elsewhere. And it has, I don't know how many seasons it has, but I was like, it has quite a few. So I didn't want to like get into watching all those. And then I watched the first episode of Dynasty, and not the remake, the original. And there were a lot of those. I was just curious and was like, we're not getting hooked into this. A soap opera. I think it had hundreds. Now I'm curious. Let me Google this. It didn't have thousands because I thought previously it did. Series. Let's see. I want to see the original. So the original had 9 seasons, 218. I'm like, I'm not sitting through 218 episodes. But how many episodes let's see, how many episodes did ER have? More. More. So I'm sitting here longer with ER. So I'm on season 4, I think. And I was talking to someone about it and they were like, ER is so great. By season 6, that was like my favorite season. I'm like, I don't know if I can handle that. I was just curious because I watched a lot of firefighter shows and I've never been really into medical dramas like that. I liked House, and I've heard about ER, and I was just curious. As a film major, or a former, am I still a film major because I majored in it in college? As someone who studied film in college and television studies as a concentration, I'm interested in film and TV also as an actor. And often when I audition for a show, but I'll watch an episode of that show or an episode of a show that the writer or producer made, if it's a new show, to get like their style and everything, to know the tone. And so I'll watch a lot of the first episode of the show, and that's how I got hooked into firefighter shows, because I was auditioning for one of those. And I watched one, I was like, I like it, and I watched the rest of the episodes, and then I wanted more. And so I looked at other firefighter shows and just found all of them. And then I watched I guess ER because of a similar thing. But anyway, I feel like it's kind of Netflix's fault because I've never been so into binge watch old shows. I would binge watch current shows and I would watch a few episodes of an old show out of curiosity, but I would never just sit and watch an old show, because they were made where you would watch each episode like once a week. ER was like you would sit there for year after year watching one episode a week, and maybe you would see a rerun, but not like back to back to back. So I could see people at the time, maybe they notice like things aren't the same, or they change up, or something isn't consistent, but you don't remember the details of the previous episode because you didn't just watch it. Now shows are made like that, where they're made like a long movie. So they know like, we need to keep the characters, the scenery, what they just said, consistent, and it can't change because people just watched it. People binge watch. And it didn't happen that much on ER, but like some stuff where there's one episode where Carol, the head nurse, she was like, I quit. And then the next episode, she's just working there. I'm like, didn't she quit? And I was like, was that the season finale that I watched where she quit? Or was it right before summer break or something? Because what happened? And then I Googled it, And someone said later on in the episode, one of the other nurses says, "Are you going to quit again?" And that's how they addressed it. But in a show now, they probably wouldn't do that. They would just, there are network shows now, but I feel like they still wouldn't do that. They would just wouldn't have her quit in that way. Or if they did, they would address it where she comes back and they would show her coming back and all this stuff with it. Maybe wrap it up quickly, but not just be like, "Oh, no, never mind. She didn't quit." Sometimes they do it. They do whatever they want. But, anyway, are you watching any old shows? I watched I Love Lucy on Nick at Night or TV Land. And, I never got into, the Golden Girls. I've seen a few episodes, but I watched every episode of I Love Lucy that I could find. And I think because I was so interested in television and ended up going to college and studying television. And I know like my parents, like my mom was like, "You're watching so many TV shows." And then I was like, well, it worked out because I majored in something where my classes, we had to watch all these different episodes and most of them I already saw. But not to say that they weren't like, "You shouldn't watch all this TV. It's not going to help you later on in life," because my mom was actually the one to say, "You should major in film because you're interested in film." And so then I found television studies through that. And I was like, I already know a lot of this stuff, and reading books that were related to my previous studies of television. But I just like film and TV as an actor. Most actors talk about theater, and I grew up doing theater plays, but I really like, as an actor, working scene by scene, doing the work. And then I like viewing TV and film because I feel like with music, I'm not a huge music person. I'm not constantly listening to music. And if I do listen to music, I'm listening to the same song over and over and over and over and over until I get sick of it, until I find another, not even get sick of it, until I find another song. And it's usually not the whole song. It's like a certain section, like the chorus or the first verse or the first verse and chorus. I don't know why. I guess because I like making music too, but I like the finished version because I used to only like watching a music video because I felt like, why would I just want to hear the song and not have visuals with it? And now I prefer the version of the song where it's the audio only. And even more recently, now I prefer songs that don't have the vocals, just the instrumentation, and not the karaoke version. The full version, just no vocals, not even background vocals, just no vocals. Cause I really like that production, I guess. Cause maybe it's cause I'm like getting ideas or whatever, but I like acting in movies and TV shows cause it goes scene by scene and not filming the whole thing at once. And I like watching movies and TV shows. And I feel like because it's the finished product, I brought that up because with music, people say like, I like live music and I like the live version, but I like the fully finished version. Sometimes the live version is more interesting than the studio version, but I like everybody coming in and making it sound as good as possible. I like that version. And I like that with film and TV because they're editing out and trying to cancel out all of the mistakes. Pause. Resume. Sometimes you will still have some mistakes or some glitches or whatever still in there, but they're trying to get make the best product possible to show to people. So anyway, I just wanted to know, are you binge watching old shows? And if you are, what shows are you watching? If ER, has it gone to Netflix? I don't know. It's on Hulu now, but I was like, if it ever goes to Netflix, that will blow up. I don't know why people really like, because Hulu is a place where you can find a lot of old shows or older. I don't want to say it's old. I don't want to say they old. It's not a current show. It's not running now as ER. Okay. It's an older show. It's been out of commission for a while, but it's still earning money. Let me stop. But yeah, whenever it goes to because I watched Suits on Netflix, and I knew about Suits, but I never watched it. I was like, I really like this show. And it was only the first, every season except for the last. I had to watch the last on Prime. But there are so many shows that people will watch for the first time on Netflix, and not as many people do that with Hulu. I feel like more people watch current shows and just they don't have cable. Like, I don't have cable, but I'll watch SVU or 911, something like that on Hulu. And those shows are often not on Netflix, or if they are, it'll be like the first few seasons, not the current season or current episodes. But you can see current stuff on Hulu without having to get all of the individual streaming, like Peacock and CBS's version and Fox's version, all that kind of stuff. But Netflix is where people love to binge. I feel like Netflix taught everyone how to binge. Watch, not eat. I don't want people to get confused. So anyway, let me know what you're watching, what you're seeing, and if you watch old shows. Maybe movies too. But I feel like we can talk about that in a future video. So until next time, take a little time to make art and be brilliant. I'm Steven Allen. Hit the plus, hit the star, subscribe, do all the things, follow, give this video 5 stars. And until next time, take a little time to make art and be brilliant. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.